And the first link is actually for Nuxt 2. It's not for
Yes.
Nuxt 3.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can use this command, as you can see. So let me bring my folder where I want to install this project. So in this folder, let's open a terminal. Let's paste that line. So we will create a project, local fresh food, and then Nuxt 2, like this.
Yeah.
So we press enter. Now they will ask for some questions, I think. Okay. The first question is project name. We will keep it the default one. So press enter. Then as programming language, we will use JavaScript, not TypeScript. Package manager yarn. And we will not use any, any
UI.
CSS framework. Yeah.
Yeah.
Later we will add one CSS framework to show you how it's done.
Sure.
Okay. Axios, progressive web app content, any of them we are not going to use. So you click enter. Then ESLint and prettier, we would like to have it in our project. So we you have to press the space bar in order to select them.
Sure.
Yeah. Then testing framework none. It will be a universal SSR website, and we will use Node.js as hosting. We want to have a JS config.json in our project, so we will press that space bar.
Sure.
And continuous integration none, version control system git. That's all.
How did you start developing Nuxt and Vue and things? What made you?
Yeah, actually, from my childhood, I always wanted to be a a programmer, computer programmer. But due to my social and economical situation at that time, it was not possible to study in the computer background or computer related topics.
Certainly.
So yeah, I had to actually start my career in a totally different track. I had a 11 years long career in garments merchandising.
What merchant?
Garments merchandising, apparel.
The garments, yeah.
Yeah, garments merchandising. So I had a very successful career there. But while I was in that full-time profession, in my free time, I was actually trying to build myself for this career,
Yeah.
for this profession. So I was slowly trying to learn as you are learning right now, that way. and I learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Then I thought that I should go with the framework, and the first framework I tried is the Vue one.
I see.
So
when was this?
I learned. This was, I had a learning curve of 8 years actually, total.
Okay.
So it took 8 years for me in order to reach to today's position. But the reason is that why it took so long is that I really didn't have time. My profession was so what should I say?
Demanding.
Yeah, so demanding and a lot of time. Every day from morning until night you have to work and work and work. So it was very difficult to arrange time. So maybe I could finish everything that I am doing today in 2 years, but it took me 8 years to complete that journey.
No, you've done very well.
Yeah. So I actually never stopped chasing my dream. That's why the Almighty Allah has given me this opportunity. Today I'm actually. Today I'm actually doing it.
I started WordPress and HTML, CSS, WordPress, and a little bit of PHP and JavaScript. 95. And when WordPress first came out, it was just a blog. You could only do blog, but then 2, 3, 4 years later, people started showing how you could implement templates and things.
Yeah.
Then 10 years ago, I did try Laravel. I think it was about 10 years ago, but the coding was very difficult in those days. So I tried it, I guess I tried it about 6, 8 weeks, but it was difficult in those days because it was very early stages.
Yeah.
I tried the Django and the other CMS.
Backend solutions.
Yeah, I tried the Django and there was, I forgot the names of the other CMS, but I stuck to
Flask.
Pardon?
Flask, I think you tried. There's another framework in Python named Flask.
No, I didn't try that.
Node.js.
No.
Node.js.
Just the Django, and there was another CMS related to WordPress. But I stuck to WordPress, and then 10 years ago, I think I was fiddling around. I was wanted to learn something new, and Laravel was just new in those days. I think about 10 years. Yeah. I tried that.
Yeah.
But it was
Laravel Laravel actually is a very difficult framework. To learn. I have also tried Laravel earlier in the past, and I had a similar experience as you.
Yeah,
so
but now
actually it didn't click in my mind.
But now I can do Laravel, I can do inertia, which is Vue in Laravel.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I actually never thought of trying Laravel again because I became so busy with JavaScript, and I was actually enjoying JavaScript a lot. That's why I thought that everything JavaScript has, I will learn them all.
Yeah.
And finally, I was able to do it. Now, today, I can say that almost all the frameworks out there in JavaScript, I know, maximum of them.
Right.
Like that. Okay. Yeah, Vue, React, Svelte, Node.js, Express, Next.js, so many things. They're really interesting, and I really enjoy coding with this kind of frameworks.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah. Nowadays, I'm actually learning C#. And I would like to C#, the Microsoft programming language.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they have a solution called .NET. So ASP.NET actually specifically. So I am going to learn this very soon.
I have never. I used to be Microsoft in 1995, MS-DOS, and the early, but because it was too commercial, everything was a paid version.
Yeah, paid version. Still the same.
So I thought, no, I'm not going to contribute to Microsoft because everything was paid and annual subscription. So, I stopped. Only thing I use is Windows, and the rest I just get free thing. Anyway, yeah.
Understood. Yeah. Now, for me, actually, now one of my regular client, he actually needs me to learn .NET, and I have told you that I have recently started a full-time job
with
that company also. That company also needs me to learn .NET. That is why I'm seriously learning it.
That is. Do they pay well?
Yeah, I'm happy with the payment that I get.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have already installed Nuxt 2. Let's continue then with this project.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's run it using yarn dev. So the folder structure are almost same to Nuxt 3, but you have some boilerplate code in Nuxt 2, which you have to clean up in order to set up your project. In Nuxt 3, this is something that I told you that it's very easy now. You just have to remove one line of code, and then the project is empty.
Yes.
Literally empty. Okay, so this is our I think we're good to go. So now this is the
installation.
Installation page. So what we are going to do is we are going to remove everything from here and just have a div. Sorry, you just have a div. No, not like this. Div, and we say test. So that's all we are going to do in the pages. Components, whatever components we have by default, we are going to get rid of them. So we delete them. So components folder is now empty. And in pages folder, you have removed all the code, and we have just added one div with the text test like that. And all other folders are actually empty. I mean, the by default, the folders that we get, they are actually empty. Node modules, as you know, they contains all the modules. And .nuxt is actually got generated when we ran yarn dev. So this one problem with Nuxt 2, if you install ESLint and Prettier, you will find this problem, which is component name.
It took me about 2 days to sort that out.
Yeah, you just have to put a script and then a name of this component with 2 words like index page, like this, and that error should be gone.
Right.
As we can see, the error is gone. So let me show you.
Carry on.
Okay, let me show you how to install Tailwind CSS in Nuxt 2. It will be a good experience for you. So if you go to framework guides and Nuxt.js, then you have this tutorial available in order to set up Tailwind CSS in your project.
If you just write, the URL and put it on Fiverr so that I can.
Yeah, we have here also chat. I think chat available. I can write here. Let me know if you see this in your end, at your end.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So when you reach this page, then you just have to copy these packages until -d. As we are using yarn, so we are not going to use the npm command. So here we take a new terminal window and we type yarn add and then the things that we copied. Give it a second to got installed, and then we just have to add this line of code in our build modules. So from here, we have actually installed one thing called Nuxt Post CSS 8. That is what we are adding now in our system. So if you go to nuxt.config.js in the build modules, you already have ESLint module. You just have to add another one, which is Nuxt Post CSS 8, like that. And then in the build property, you have to add this post CSS part. So you copy it and you go find the build property, which is at the end, and you just copy this part. Well, for in this file, that would be all. So we save it. If we go back, then we'll see that it's actually regenerating. Now you have to create a tailwind config.js, same as we did in Nuxt 3.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, so you just create a new file and copy the name. Then we have to copy this line of code. Yeah. But one thing which I'm telling you from my experience, that is, if you keep this line of code in your project, you will have a lot of problems in your development. So it's better that you actually comment out this line.
How did you find that out?
I actually faced this problem a lot, and then I found this solution. So I'm telling you this from my experience.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just have to comment out this line, and then you should be good to go. So you can try with enabling this line, and if you find any problem, then you just remember that you have to come here and then comment out this line.
Yeah,
like that. Okay, and then you have to create one CSS file. So we create a assets folder like this, assets folder. There we create another folder named CSS where we want to keep our CSSs, and then we name it like main.css like that. Here you have to copy these 3 lines for Tailwind CSS like this. Now you just have to, point this CSS file to your project. The way we do it is we go to Nuxt config.js, and at the top you can see that there's a property called CSS, and it's an array. So in this array, you will just point out your file location. So like this. So as you remember that we created a file called main.css in assets and in CSS. That's why this string looks like this.
Yeah.
So we copy it and we should be good to go now. Let us check. So what we have opened the wrong file. Okay, so as we have done a lot of changes in our project, so it's better that we run the dev server one more time.
Yeah.
So that we can avoid any unwanted issues. So we refresh.
Yes.
And we have this project. Now let's test if this is working or not. So in test div, we add a Tailwind class like text3excel. If we save it, as we can see that it increased the size of the text. So it's actually got connected properly.
Yeah.
So this is how you actually add a Tailwind CSS in your Nuxt 2 project. Yeah. So in Nuxt 3, I have shown you totally different way.
Yeah.
And in Nuxt 2, it's a little bit different way, but it's not that much difficult. It's okay. If you understand it, then it's okay. It's easy.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have added Tailwind CSS, but it's better that you do not add Tailwind CSS if you use the same template that we used in last project. But still, we will keep Tailwind CSS for now, and let's bring that folder in our project. So that was like template, this folder.
Sure.
And now here as well, you can see that there's a folder called static.
Static.
In our Nuxt 3, we had a folder named public.
Public.
And in Nuxt 2, we have folder named static. So what we'll do, we will take the image JS, CSS, SCSS, this and lib these folders, and we'll copy it and we will paste them in our static folder. So we have them all. Here we have bootstrap file. We can see style.css, and we have some JavaScript file. We have some other JavaScript and CSS file as well from different libraries. And then we have SCSS bootstrap files. So they are now available in our project. Now what we have to do is that we have to bring this part of the actual template in our Nuxt 2 project, but globally, same way we done in Nuxt 3. So yeah, Nuxt 3. So here we can use the same Nuxt config.js and this area, which is head, where we can import the JavaScript and CSS files. So as you can see, there is already one link available, which is for the favicon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you just have to create a few more lines. Let me create one line first. And instead of icon, we are going to say style sheet for adding a CSS file. And type, we don't need the type actually. it's okay if we omit type here. We just have to have a href. So that let us keep this index file opened. And from here, the first thing I'm gonna copy is this font file. So we will replace this href with our font location, and rel will be pre-connect in this case. So style sheet will be replaced with pre-connect. We create another copy, and then we go to index.html and copy the second URL like this. So we have many more. This is a CSS file, as you can see. So we will copy it and then replace the href with this new one. WordRef so that you can see it. Then we will use the style sheet. Yeah, and then style sheet again.
You didn't copy that one which has got swap, the third one.
Okay, no problem. We'll copy it. The one that I copied right now, let me add it first. Then we go back and copy that one.
Oh, I thought you did.
Yeah. No problem. I just didn't notice this line. Okay, so we copy it and then we replace it with this one. This is also style sheet, I think.
Yeah.
So style sheet. So we have copied until this part. Now we will copy this one, which is here. Like this. Then the owl carousel one. Then bootstrap min.css. And then the last one is CSS style.css. Copy, save. So we have just saved it. Now we will find out where is our JavaScripts. So we minimize all the divs to go to the end of the project. Copyright, back to top. Now here is the JavaScript files. So what I will do is that in order to make it a little bit faster, I will copy all this code, and here I will minimize the link array, and here I will create another one called script.
Okay.
This will also be an array, and below that we will just paste it and comment it out so that it doesn't give us any error. And as you can see, it's already giving me auto completion. So yeah, owl carousel, owl.min.js, this is already there. Yeah. Then wow.min.js, animate min.js. Bootstrap, jQuery, JS custom.js. Do we have that? Or it's actually built up by itself? No, we don't have anything like that. So we had owl carousel, we had wow, we had animate. No, we didn't have any animate.js, I think. So this should be gone. jQuery, we had jQuery, but we had a jQuery script. So external link object query. So this auto completion actually didn't work. Yeah. So we will use the bootstrap one. Copy that one and then paste here. Then we will use easing. I think easing is not also included. So copy it, paste here like this. Then waypoint. And then counter up. Then our carousel, our.in.js.
I think you've missed the main.
Okay.
You've missed the main JS from the previous one. If you go to index, if you go to index HTML, the very last file.
Yeah. So these two are there. Wow is there. Easing is there. Waypoint is there. Counter up there. Our carousel there. Main JS. Yes.
Yeah.
So these are our JavaScript file. We have added them. Now, if we refresh this page and then go to inspect, go to head, we should see our linked files. As you can see, the font is added, CSS added, and JavaScript also added.
Wonderful.
But JavaScripts have been added in the head area instead of the body area.
So we can actually defer.
We can use defer, but we have another way. Let me find out that. There is another property that we can use, which will append this first at the end. Body true. Yeah. So that's the thing. So if we go to nuxt.config.js and we add another property called body true, and that should add it at the end of the body.
Oh, right. Okay.
So here we don't have any script anymore. But if we go to the body, as you can see that at the end we have all the scripts.
Right. Fantastic.
So perfect. Now what we can do is that we can get rid of this file, and from here we just have to copy the body part. So we go to the top of the file. From the body we'll copy it. We can actually get rid of this file as well now, and in pages, instead of text, we'll put all the content that we have copied. So we'll get rid of this body tag and all the scripts that we had, because we don't need them. We already have them in our project. And at the top, we will have to remove this body tag. And that should actually do it.
Fantastic.
As you can see, it's already appeared.
You know, you are an excellent teacher.
You
are
so much.
Honestly.
Yeah, thank you so much.
When you explain things, it's so clear. Where did you learn your English?
I try. I didn't learn my English from any specific place. In my last job, I had to use English a bit because it was always international trading.
Yeah.
I mean, garments merchandising involves a lot of trading between countries. So
Yes.
there I had to use English frequently. It actually helped me to get some fluency here.
Yeah.
And from childhood, I mean, when I was a student at school, I had good grasps over English language. So there's no specific place that I went or took any special course. It's not like that.
No, you're fantastic. Very good teacher.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad that it's helping you.
What's that error at the in that terminal? Oh, it's gone.
It's not an error. It's actually a warning. One warning, potentially flexible with fixed option. This is a ES-linked warning. So you will get this kind of warning a lot, and you don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. If you get an error, then it's the problem. But warnings are okay, no problem.
Right.
Yeah. So we just created a layout folder, and we are gonna create one file called default.view, same as our Nuxt3 project. So we will just give it a template, and we have to give it a name as well. So otherwise it will just keep complaining. Name will say like default layout, like that. Now it will stop complaining. So here, as I told you, that now if you we have a default file. So if we go to our project and refresh it, everything should be gone, but it's not gone. Why it's not gone? In order to understand that, let's run this dev server one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's gone. Nothing is there. So now if you put something like this in your code, everything should come back.
Oh, that is like slot.
Yeah, that is like slot. In Nuxt2, you have to use this Nuxt tag instead of slot. So now we can make one or two common component, which will, you will understand from that how this global component and internal component works. So in components, we can create one folder called shared, same as we did in Nuxt3, and we can call it spinner.view, and we can create a template here really quick and create that spinner. We just have to give it a name, which is really annoying. So name is spinner, and spinner comp. We can call it like this, spinner comp. And now in index.js, we don't have the spinner anymore, but we want to call it in the default layout so that it's available in all the pages. So what we have to do is that we have to actually import that file here. So it's not auto imported like Nuxt3. So we have to call it like spinner from, in Nuxt2, you can use @ and then like this. Here, if you write components, then spinner, you should be good to go. So now here you can add spinner like this.
Yeah.
That spinner should still be available. But we will not see it because spinner comes once it's loaded, then the spinner doesn't come at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let us also grab the header, the top bar and the nav bar. these two components from the index file, and then in the shared component we will create one file called header.view template. We have to actually paste this inside a div, because there were two separate parts.
Yeah.
One was nav and another was div, and in Nuxt 2 you cannot actually, in template you have to have a root element.
Okay.
So everything has to be inside that element.
Yeah.
You cannot put two elements side by side in template like that.
Yeah.
Script and then name. Here we will say header comp like that. So this is already done. As you can see, our header is gone. So in default, now we can import our header like this, header from component shared header.view. And in components, we will turn this into an object where we will say spinner and header.
Header.
Yeah, and it's telling that we haven't used header anywhere. That is why it's red line. So we just have to.
Okay.
Yeah, we will have to say header. Sorry. Header. If you save this, then the error is gone.
Yeah.
And in our website also, you can see the spinner is there. Spinner is already available. Maybe we have to make a refresh, and we have the header back in our project. So this header and this spinner should now be available in all the pages.
Yeah.
Like that. So I think rest of the things you already know how to do it, because you have already practiced it in your Nuxt 3 project.
Yeah. If you just finish the footer.
Okay, no problem. I'll just finish the footer for you.
And then we can call it a day.
No problem. I'm not in a hurry. If you need more time, I'm there.
No. I think it's an hour now. I'm not sure.
So footer, copyright, and back to top. All of this actually part of footer.
Yeah.
So we will just copy all of them. And then in shared component, we'll get another file footer.view, and we have to have a template. And as we discussed earlier, that we have to have a root element.
Yeah.
So we'll keep a div. We'll keep everything inside a div. And then we need a script where we'll say name is equal to footer, but we'll say footer comp, because it has to be 2 words.
Yeah.
Okay, so index is already saved. Now we can go back to our default.view, and here we can say import footer from component shared footer. We will add footer here in our components object, and after Nuxt we will add footer, because footer is actually at the int.
Yeah.
That's why we are adding after Nuxt. Now if you go to the int, you will see that footer is available. So everything between the header and footer is actually coming from index.view, and header and footer is coming from this default.view.
Yeah.
So if you create here another page, here another page like about.view, and then create a template div about page script name about page, save. Now if you go to /about, Then your header and footer should be there. Only the content in between should change.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. I had something on my mind. I forgot.
Yeah, tell me.
Just I need to remember what I was thinking.
Okay, no problem.
It will come back to me.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, yeah. This is not it, but next week,
Yeah,
I said we'll discuss form and
yeah,
Axios and things like that, integration and CRUD, say for product or something else, a registration form. I was thinking those for the next 3-4 tutorials, we'll do that.
yeah, and of course, no problem. If you, I mean, whatever you want to do, I can do it, no problem.
Because
yeah,
next Sunday we'll start forms, user profile, user registration, and the back end and things. So that we'll do that over the next 3-4. I don't know how many lessons it will take.
yeah. Backend, I mean, Nuxt is not actually a backend framework. So you can actually use it to create backend stuff, but the main intention of Nuxt and Vue is to actually give you front-end solutions.
Okay.
Like that.
So what would you suggest backend? Because Voyager.
Yeah.
Do you know? Are you aware of Voyager?
I have heard the name.
Voyager is backend for inertia Laravel.
Okay.
Can I use that and integrate?
You can actually use anything. I mean, you can use Django, you can use Laravel, you can use .NET as backend solution. So what you have to do is that you have to create an API, REST API there.
Right.
So there will be API in points where this front end can make a call and grab the data and then display those data in the user interface like that.
And five minutes if you have.
Yeah, sure.
Meta tags and meta
tags. Yeah. That's a very good question. So in Nuxt 2, we will actually discuss Nuxt 3 in another lesson about the meta
week,
because
next week.
It's actually totally different in those two versions.
Yeah.
So in Nuxt 2, if you want a global meta tag means that in all the pages you want same title, you want same meta description like that, you know.
Yeah.
Then you have to come to nuxt.config.js, and here you can see that you have one section called meta, the head tag, and you have title as well.
Yeah.
So you can change this title like local fresh food like this, and it will, I mean, affect all the pages. So in all the pages, this will be the default title.
It will be the default.
Yeah, and you must want to have this, the chart set meta tag, and you also need this, the viewport meta tag for responsiveness. So these two, it's better that they are here in this global meta declaration. But description and format detection, this kind of things, you can actually leave it from here. So you can actually delete them from here, as I suppose that you would like to have them page by page.
Yeah,
like
so about product or whatever.
Yeah. So what will happen that in index, you have to do it only in the pages. Remember that you cannot do it in a component.
No.
So only the pages you can actually edit in order to use those meta information. So what you have to do is that you have to create a head method like this, which will return an object like this.
Yeah.
So here you can use same properties, title and meta. Meta will be an array. The same look and feel as you saw in nuxt.config.js. So you can actually copy this and come here and then replace this meta with this meta. So we already have chart set in our project, so we don't need it, but we are going to need some other things. And one thing is important, that you have to use one extra attribute, which is called HID, and you can put the same content in HID and name. What I mean by that, let me give you an example, then you will understand it better. For example, that you want to have a description meta tag. Okay.
Yeah.
So you will put description here, right?
Yes.
So in HID, what you will do is you will also put description here.
You're right.
Yeah. So whatever the name is, you put the same name in HID, and this will serve the purpose. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Test description, like this. In title, a custom title, like this. Now, if you save this page, and if you go to index of our website, so go to index, you see that here it says a custom title. It's a little bit small.
Yes,
I am not sure if
I
you
can see that.
Okay, and if you go to inspect and then you go to the head, then you have meta description, and description says that a test description.
Sorry?
The description says that it is a test. I mean, that thing that we written in the content, test description. Yeah. So it's available there.
You can't make it, you can't make this dynamic.
Of course, you can make this dynamic, no problem at all.
Okay.
So if you go to about, now you will say that it says local fresh food. So the default one that you defined in Nuxt config,
right,
that one is appearing here, and it doesn't have any description meta tag,
no,
because we didn't specify any for it. Okay, so that's all. And now here, if you want to add a dynamic thing in your head tag, then what you have to do, for example, that you have something called data, I mean a data property, data method, where you have something like title. Welcome to your Vuex app. Okay, I like the title. So what you can do here is you can use this dot title, like this.
Right. Yeah.
Now if you save it and you go back to your index page, welcome to your Vuex app.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's actually working. So this way, wherever this your data is, it might be in the data section, it might be in the computed property. You can use everything here using this keyword in your head method, like that.
Fantastic. I forgot it again. Is this useful for the SEO?
Yeah, this is very useful for the SEO. This is the reason why Nuxt, I mean, we use Nuxt at the first place. We could actually use Vue.js and do everything, but we decided to use Nuxt.js, or we actually developed Nuxt.js. The developers developed Nuxt.js in order to solve the main problem with the SEO. Because in Vue.js, you cannot actually, directly use SEO components. No. And what happens that Vue.js pages are rendered on the browser. So if you go from one page to another page, that page is generated by the browser. It's not coming from the server. So what happens that if you go to about page, Google doesn't know that there's a about page exists. It only see the index.html. That's the problem.
Exactly.
So this problem has been solved by Nuxt.js, as when you are going to about us page, it's actually coming from the server itself. Server is generating the HTML and CSS and then sending to the browser.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Are you working all week or just few days off?
No, as I told you that I am home. I will be living. I will be at my home during this whole holiday period, but I will not be working full time. So sometimes maybe I will sit in front of my computer for 1 hour or 2 hours to do something. Yeah.
Honestly, I shan't disturb you till next week. When are you?
No. Feel free to contact me anytime. Just be a little bit kind if you see some delay in reply.
No. I don't worry about that. So what was I going to say? Have a good day, and I'll contact you Saturday, Sunday. Next Sunday, 6 o'clock, did you say?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Have a good holiday, and I'll speak to you then.
Yeah, you have a great week too.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and don't forget to stop the session. Otherwise, your video file will not appear.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And send me the zip files.
Yeah, I will send you the zip file within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.